Hello YouTube. Here's a very interesting recent discovery that pertains to ancient people we know nothing about basically. Island Hvar is a Croatian island in the Adriatic Sea, located in the archipelago in front of Split Port, between the islands Brač, Vis, and Korčula. A 7,000-year-old road that may have connected an ancient Hvar culture settlement to the now isolated island of Korčula has been discovered by archaeologists of the southern Croatian coast. The remnants of this road were found at the sunken Neolithic site of Solin, buried under layers of sea mud. The ancient site of Solin was once an artificial island and was only recently discovered in 2021 by archaeologist Mate Patricia of the University of Zadar in Croatia. Patricia was studying satellite images of the water area around Korčula when he observed something that appeared to be man-made on the ocean floor. Together with a colleague, he dove to investigate and uncovered this exciting find. The archaeologists also discovered stone walls, which could have been a part of an old ancient village or town. The walls were found at the depth of 4 to 5 meters, I think it's 13 to 16 feet, below the surface of the sea. The place where these walls were built was cut off from the rest of the island by a small strip of land. Archaeologist Mate Patricia mentioned in an interview with Reuters in 2021 that this area is protected from big waves because of the islands that surround it. This has helped in keeping the site safe from natural harm and thus preserving it. So the 7,000-year-old road is about 4 meters or 13 feet wide and is made of stacked stone slabs. It is covered in mud, which is not surprising given its location. And I gotta tell you, to me it reminds something that is rumored to be off the coast of Yucatan. And I think it's quite similar. The road was likely built by the Neolithic Hvar people who once lived in the eastern Adriatic, according to the archaeologists. This race is also believed to have built the submerged Solin settlement, which was connected to the islands by the road. The settlement is estimated to date back to about 4,900 before Common Era, based on radiocarbon analysis of the preserved wood. The University of Zadar, which was involved in the discovery, said in the statement that people walked on this road almost 7,000 years ago. The discovery was the result of collaboration among experts from several museums and the University of Zadar, along with the help of photographers and divers. So the same research team found another underwater settlement on the other side of the island that is similar to Solin and contains some Stone Age artifacts. The team also found fragments of millstones, flint blades, and stone axes among the underwater ruins. The artifacts shed light on the enigmatic Hvar people who first appeared on the islands and coasts of the northern Adriatic Sea around 7,000 years ago. Archaeologist Igor Borčić of the University of Zadar noticed interesting structures under the base waters, leading the team to explore the Solin site. To their surprise, they discovered an almost identical settlement submerged at the depth of 4 to 5 meters, which also contained Neolithic artifacts like stone axes and fragments of sacrificial items or sacrifice. Korčula is part of an archipelago in the Adriatic that was once a part of the continent. The coastal valleys of the Dinaric Mountains began to flood as a result of the Earth's ice cap melting around 12,000 before Common Era, and by the 6,000 before Common Era, the archipelago had roughly reached its current configuration. But millions of years ago, there was an ancient continent dubbed Greater Adria. And this is very interesting because we don't know who inhabited our planet as intelligent beings at that time. Greater Adria, as it existed 140 million years ago, before sliding beneath what is now southern Europe. The darker green areas depict the land above the water, and the lighter green, the land below. You can see it. There's a lost continent hidden below southern Europe, and researchers have created the most detailed reconstruction of it yet. The lost continent, Greater Adria, emerged about 240 million years ago after it broke from Gondwana, a southern supercontinent made up of Africa, Antarctica, South America, Australia, and other major land masses. The researchers have reconstructed up to a quarter-of-a-billion-year-long history of the vanished landmass that lies not beneath the ocean, but rather beneath the land. The long-lost continent got the name Greater Adria, and Greater Adria was large, extending from what is now the Alps all the way to Iran, but not all of it was above the water. That means it was likely a string of islands or archipelagos. Earth is covered in large tectonic plates that move relative to each other. Greater Adria belonged to the African tectonic plate, but was not a part of the African continent, since there was an ocean between them, which was slowly sliding beneath the Eurasian tectonic plate in what is now southern Europe. So around 100 million to 120 million years ago, Greater Adria smashed into Europe and began diving beneath it, but some of the rocks were too light and so did not sink into the earth mantle. Instead, they were scraped off in a way that's similar to what happens when a person puts their arm under a table and then slowly moves it underneath. The sleeve gets crumpled up. The crumpling formed mountain chains, such as the Alps. It also kept these ancient rocks locked in a place where geologists could find them. The eastern coast of the Adriatic Sea belonging to Croatia really is a series of islands and coastlines surrounded by Europe. The Germans, Czech, Austrians, and Hungarians must travel south to reach it. The French must travel towards the east, and the Italians northeast or north, and the Greeks, depending on where they're coming from the northwest. The Adriatic Aquatorium has cut deep inland, while its eastern coast is adorned with 1,185 islands, islets, reefs, and rocks. Owing to its extensive intendedness, the Croatian coast is 5,951 kilometers long. Even in ancient times, before the Croatians inhabited this region, it was one of the most important waterways. Greek colonies stretched across towards the north, all the way to the Tragirium, and later it was the inner sea of the great Roman Empire. I think more discoveries will be made in the area where the ancient road was found, and we may find where else the road was leading to. I'm very, very amazed by recent archaeological discoveries, and although I keep my attention mainly to the Yucatan Peninsula, to Yucatan, Mexico, and to Namibia in Africa, and of course Eurasian lands, we also find out very interesting things even in Europe, which should have been studied all over by now. So please, I ask you to support my research if you can. You'll find how to do it in the links in this video, and tell others about my channel, and I will bring you more interesting archaeological discoveries, I promise. Thank you.